Let's talk about the fifth grader.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader? Okay, I have slides for this, so I'm going to move over to the big board.
Good.
But I got a copy of this article out of USA Today last week, and I thought it was interesting. I posted it on my Facebook fan page, and just posted a link to it. I didn't really pursue it further at that point, but when we started looking at topics for the show today, I was like, I want to look a little bit more at that. And the thing that caught my eye about it is that the whole article is based on, the subject of the article is Capital.com, who used students from Harvard, Boston University, Johns Hopkins, and some fifth graders to evaluate their web-based stock trading platform. And, who better to work out the kinks, according to Capitalist, and that's how they pronounce it in their video, who better to work out the kinks in their video game-inspired, highly visual universe than 11-year-olds? So, we're turning investing into a game, basically. Although they don't like to call it a game, they want to call it an investing platform. Capital.com allows users to create practice portfolios to trade imaginary stocks in real time. However, Capital.com is scheduled to allow users to open real accounts this summer, powered by TD Ameritrade, from what I can find out. So in the article, the developers say they hope it will become a second-generation Ameritrade, encouraging more gamers, women, and young people to begin investing. So, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, we want to encourage young people and women to invest. That's all good, right?
Bullish Chick says, do they provide crystal balls as well?
Oh, well, they provide so we'll get there. They don't provide crystal balls, not quite, but they make it seem kind of frivolous, like a game almost. So the creator is this man named David Newbert. He was a Wall Street trader, and he left Wall Street in 2004 to teach, travel, and publish his web-based newsletter, The Panelist. And The Panelist focuses on ethical investing. Now, ethical in my definition and ethical in the definition of ethical investing are two different things. When it comes to ethical investing, they're talking about socially responsible investing. My definition of ethical, and this is the definition I got out of the dictionary, is pertaining to or dealing with morals or the principles of morality pertaining to right and wrong, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll just keep that in the back of our head for a few minutes until we get to the end of this story. Right and wrong, ethical. Newbert calls Capital.com's colorful, user-friendly trading platform the Wii of investing.
Ooh.
Yes.
You get a little Wiimote?
No, but you get a playground. So I signed up for their site today, and it's in beta testing. But this is what their site looks like. And they have what they call the playground. And what you do is you drag what stocks you're interested in into the playground. And you can watch them and how they do stuff. And as I was I couldn't really interact on the site unless I actually started building a portfolio. But you actually get a mastery level. So, when you first start, you're at copper. And I don't know what the different levels are. But just I feel like I was looking at, what is that game? World of Warcraft or whatever? Where you become like a wizard or whatever, and you get bigger and more powerful in the game. That's what this feels like. It feels like a game. And, there's a place for your profile picture. So there's also this whole social networking, social media aspect to it as well, because you create an online profile and, interact with other users. And here's all the little action tools. The first one's called Investor DNA, which is where you set up your user profile. So that's very interesting. DNA, sounds good. The News Viewer, where you get to explore videos and news about investing. The Super Screener, where you search for companies. The Compare-O-Matic, where you compare the companies that you're looking at. The Number Cruncher, where again you can compare the selected companies and their financials. And then the Turbo Chart, where you can chart those companies. So you drag all these things to and then there's the market snapshot, because you got to know what the market's doing. And there's a ticker at the bottom running the whole time. So this is, it's all set up to look like a game or a social network. And some of the 10-year-olds or the fifth graders that actually tested the site, 10-year-old Sheila Gar says that the quandary of not knowing what's going to happen next, but needing to make moves as if you do, is the site's secret thrill.
Oh, boy.
Really? This is what we're teaching our fifth graders and our 10-year-olds. And it's kind of like an adventure game to me. That's how we want people to approach investing, is like an adventure game. I find it interesting because we've talked about before in the show how we know that they do the stock picking game in schools, like in middle schools, high schools, and none of my kids have come home with that yet, but I can't wait till they do because it'll be really interesting. Will Sherman, who's 11, says that weighing one company against another feels like a game, and that while testing the site, he became addicted to experimenting with stocks. That's something we want to encourage.
Bullish Chick says she's impressed that a 10-year-old used the word quandary.
I know. Yeah. I don't know if that was an actual quote from the kid, but you never know. Hey, maybe the fifth graders maybe that was a vocab word for the week. Who knows? But, my question is this what you would call ethical? When I think about our approach to investing and what we try to communicate to investors and, taking a very prudent and long-term approach to, preparing for your financial future and for your retirement, this doesn't jive with what I would call prudent or ethical. This is just encouraging market timing, stock picking, and speculating and gambling with real money. And they make it look like a game, so they make it feel like it doesn't count. Because there's the practice portfolios. And I don't find that to be very ethical. I think that it's smarmy and not good. So anyway, plus there's the whole social networking aspect, and I'm going to come back over here, so I'm going to be walking and talking. But there's the whole social networking aspect of this whole platform where, they have the user profiles, you can chat, you can leave each other messages, and, that's something that I find very interesting because they're making it seem more trendy, more social media, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's so important for investor coaches and for investors to be in communication with their coaches via social media, via live stream or Facebook or, blogs or whatever, but making sure that you're getting the right messages as an investor and giving the right messages as an investor coach to communicate prudent investing, because obviously this is just one more way for people to get the wrong information, and it can be dangerous.
It can be very dangerous, and that's a great point. I mean, this is why we're in this realm. For a long time we thought you could just ignore it, and what we found out is you can't.
No,
because it's in your face every day.
It's everywhere.
And you've got these tools. I mean, they've made it easier to do these bad things with portfolios, and that's what's a major issue here. Because I remember when I did the stock picking game in school, I remember doing this game, and I remember that we had to actually use the physical paper in order to pick these stocks and make the trades, right? Well, now you don't need that anymore. Now you got these tools like this that you can just go on and do it anytime you want, all day long, whatever you want to do. And it really is evil in how they
think it is evil.
How they're doing this. And I look at my iPhone here. I mean, on my iPhone, I was looking through the apps last night, or actually a couple weeks ago, and I was looking through there, and there's a game on there for stock picking. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And you can go through and you can pick these stocks and build a portfolio and see how it does. And then you could publish it and you could talk about it or brag about it to your friends and look what I did and all these things. And then you can also take it and you can also put it to practice. Right. So essentially you could back test something and you could put this portfolio to practice going forward and really use real money.
Right.
So, and that goes along the lines of, we know stock picking doesn't work. We know market timing doesn't work. We know track record investing don't work. And even if someone were to do it up to this point, there is no correlation with them being able to do it in the past and being able to do it going forward.
Right.
I mean, it's absolutely mind-blowing that these tools are out there, and it's getting worse.
I know, and that whole ethical thing really ticks me off. Because the whole ethical investing, like, it's more important to invest in things that are, socially responsible and politically correct than it is to invest prudently. And I think that is, it's a very disingenuous way to, encourage people to invest money, it just feels wrong. Everything's wrong. It's wrong.
Jeff Teach says we need to set up a new website, Kids Hooked on Modern Portfolio Theory.
Well, I know, and Mark and I were talking about, I told him I wanted to start a foundation that was like Capitalism for Kids or something like that.
We've got more out here. Efficient Markets video game from Lauren.
Yeah, I like that.
We need to get a video game going out there. Leonard says just more stuff to hurt people. I'm sure the trading will all be free as well.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. right? And Lauren said also long-term buy and hold investing is ethical investing. That's exactly right. And also Mike Stokes says, I use Monopoly to buy my real estate. Why not have a game to buy stocks?
Very, very true. I know that my husband told my daughter that there's no free lunch the other day, and she so far it's sticking. So maybe that we'll just have to expand the horizons with the no free lunch and efficient markets, free markets.
Jeff Teach says, this is just what we need, a new generation of day traders and kids following Kramer.
Oh God, yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to up the entertainment factor on Matt's and Money Live so we can get the youth vote here.
The arms
Maybe
flapping.
a singing, dancing clown or
I
something.
can roll up my sleeves and flap my arms around and hit some buttons.
Yeah, that.
No,
yeah,
I'm not doing it.
It's not. Our,
Totally doesn't
maybe
work.
it's tap dancing clown though.
Yeah.
We can make the tap dancing clown the stock picker or something.
What are we going to call him?
I don't know.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that.